Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Badlands Crew, where today I think we're pushing eastward a little bit. I went ahead and captured a little bit more territory up north, see if we were missing anything really obvious and immediate, and it kind of doesn't seem like it. The weapons and stuff that I've pulled from doing so are not really competitive or interesting. It's possible if I really completed the area, we'd get some flamethrowers on par. I mean, there's still some stuff down here. We know there are pyros down here too. I don't know. Whatever. I think today's the day for pushing east. So I do think we should rescue the trader again because I want to get the trader deals started again. But I noticed this. There's an option here to race against Gekko in Persuasion Point. I don't want to do this right now, but note that this mission ends right up here. I believe the Gekko races always go to a survey point. All the ones I've done so far have. So I think we should have plenty of fuel after we finish this to head north to about this point, just a little bit east northeast of the dire necropolis, and at least get survey information for this large surrounding area. So I think that's going to be the plan for this mission. But we definitely do want to get Koi back and also move the story forward here, I think is the play. And also, blueprints. You know how we feel about more blueprints. We are so far ahead on recording the blueprint series right now because we're both people who are very motivated by puzzles. There are going to be episodes of that stuff that we recorded yesterday that are not going to come out for 2 months. Hey SB, if you recorded that much blueprints so quickly, you must really be enjoying it, huh? That's one way to look at it. Anyway, let's focus on this thing. This all looks very interesting. Look at the size of those speaker towers. Okay, so our plan for the moment is we just kind of stick to the cliff the whole way there, basically. And then afterward, we're going to have to go down and actually through Isolation Outpost to do the thing I want to do. Is there an easier way back? There might not be. That might be the path that we take back as well. I think we're going to have enough fuel for that. We have a combination of an extremely high fuel efficiency driver and a couple of really fucking big tanks of gas, plus a fuel gathering ability that seems to have doubled in yield for reasons that I'm not 100% clear on. So, we can take a long trip. I'm confident we will survive a long trip. Also, our damage output is such that we can manage quite a lot of combat. It is a little bit sad that there's not really been a way to continue scaling up our direct head-to-head ramming damage in the same way that we've been able to scale the weapon damage up. The side swipe damage, or side swipe, I guess the side smash damage is really good still, but we haven't acquired a bumper that does more damage in quite some time. And it doesn't seem like the raw mass of the truck is increasing the damage of that the same way it's increasing the damage of the side strike. It's nice to be able to just kind of casually roll through these encounters. What am I moving into here? Okay, that's not ideal. I suppose I could have just looked up a little bit. Alright, it's fine. We know we have a path that works by landscapes. Just stick to the wall. See if we can't get through it a little bit more quickly. I am, of course, a little worried about the heat. It does take some considerable effort to get this thing uphill. Okay, still on track. Yeah, I don't know how we wouldn't be, but... It's a shame that you can only do the things that, like, you know, for the most part, you pick a mission and that's the goal and that's what you're stuck with. It would be really nice if we could capture that isolation outpost on the way, you know? Alright, pretty good stuff. You know, I think we still haven't seen weapons using uranium, have we? We've seen lots of uses for the other purple ingredients. I think I want to be going this way. Yeah. This way first, this way later. Although, actually, we might have to escort Koi home. Well, we'll see. Okay, this is gonna be... probably a reasonable time to call in a little bit of an assist. Although actually maybe it's not even going to be necessary because we sure are flattening these vehicles fairly quickly. There. No, those are just gunners. You know what? Can I just shoot for the engine? The bowling balls they'll find a way through. They'll get the job done. There we go. Yeah, okay, we gotta escort him back. Maybe we'll get our survey points later. You know, I had hope. It's not always the case. We've had one or two where we rescued him and he immediately just ballooned out. All right, buddy. I'm with you. Let's do it. Well, be careful, would you? Okay, no big deal, everyone. It's just that sandworm that is right there. Alright, so we're going back to the Dire Necropolis. Exactly the path we came down. It feels to me like, having just cleared this, we're going to find that it is not very challenging to make it back over the path. But I'm sure they're going to spawn an ambush or two, but... Okay, why are you taking such a weird path? Alright. Koi is driving directly toward those enemies, not even trying to pretend that he's not going for them directly. Kind of an annoying thing to do, given my job here. Just scoop the cash on the way. Let's not forget the hatches, please. Hey look, the pool ball cannon actually hit something. Guys, there we go. Where the hell were all the bowling balls? Nope. Hold on, let's back it up a little bit. There we go. This really does feel like unnecessary busy work. Are you not going to move until the wreck despawns? Is that really where we're at here? I mean, it's like... It's fine, I guess. Maybe I can nudge it. It will despawn eventually. Okay, yeah, there it goes. It just sank into the desert. It's like I hate to fall back on this old saw, but you know, it is an old complaint for a reason. It's who is the person who is demanding all of these escort missions in video games, right? Like, they should know better than this. And this one's not particularly egregious because it's not like Koi is incredibly fragile. He's not going out of his way to die, but he is doing a lot of kind of annoying behaviors just sort of for the hell of it, including swerving back and forth as he drives to really slow down his rate of approach to the objective. Just try to be between you and the incoming. Alright, the little thing survived a shocking amount of damage. But in all the time it was alive, it managed to do approximately nothing to either us or Koi. But they keep putting us into combat, so we can't use fast forward. How annoying. I wonder, honestly, it might have been faster for him to just hitch the thing to our truck and let us carry it. Just like lay it sideways across the loot bed of the truck and tie it down. Very annoying and very disruptive to my plans. I mean, at this point, we may as well just cash in, right? I don't see any particular reason to head back out. We'll just get the thing on a future mission. I appreciate these enemies going out of their way to ship us some loot on the way out, though. Alright, how many more times can one man get captured? Given where we are in the game, I kind of have to assume that's the last. Alright, Sepulchre Outpost is getting a little loose, even though it is the outpost closest to the stronghold that we're working from. I don't really fully understand this system, apparently. Ooh, a double-barreled shotgun. That's an interesting holster item. I must apologize again for any headaches I may have caused. Your assistance, as always, is deeply appreciated. Alright, seems unlikely he'll learn to stay away from trouble anytime soon. Speaking of trouble, we need to be paying close attention to the Order's plans. With his remote-controlled Zeppelins and his network of propaganda speaker towers, he's been able to acquire such a huge reach over the Badlands, all while hiding in the safety of his walled-off stronghold. Trader Koi has given us some valuable intel, which may help us get within the walls of the Order's refuge. There are some hatches around the base of the mountain under the refuge. If we can get some of our engineers into these hatches, they will sabotage the gate controls. Once they've done that, when we're ready, they'll be able to activate the gate controls and you can drive right in. The Order also always has a lot to say through his propaganda speakers, and his truth bombs, is that what he's calling them? But let's see how much he says when you're right up close and personal. Well, I don't reckon it's going to find that as difficult as our crew members are hoping here, because he does seem to know how to build some pretty big miniguns, and I figure that's going to be, that's going to be the situation. Okay, honestly, the stats on this are not bad. I don't think they're worth putting on over the specialized gear that everybody's wearing, but not bad overall. Yeah, catcher's attire is no good. So unfortunately, these don't really, the stats that are reflected here in the stats window are not the most important things, in my opinion. I have no idea how effective these make us at close combat, or, we get boarded so rarely, and we always handle it so quickly, that it doesn't seem to me like it would be worth spending resources or weight. But I don't know. Okay, you also got a point, and your deadliness has capped out. All right, let's pick up another perk slot. That's good news. So right now we're running recover health while in an encounter. Pretty okay. 5% per minute is not spectacular, I guess. We got combo boost. Like, repeatedly wasting's pretty good. Like, I know we've got our cooldowns pretty low, but like getting some extra free shots on top of the really low cooldowns, especially on somebody who's operating one of those bowling ball cannons, is going to really let us pump out some damage. Okay. We don't desperately need most of these at this point. I mean, like, we have so much cloth that it seems silly not to trade it. We have a ton of tire rubber as it is. And then 1,000. Okay, we don't do that. All right, well, let's see what this new mission is looking like. We have a legendary person opened up. I'm a little surprised not to see a mission that is the thing he described, where we access the underground tunnels or whatever. But maybe we need to hold more territory first. This would get us advanced vehicle blueprints, a bunch of nuke ornaments, which is definitely a very valuable currency still. Yeah. All right. Let's knock out another outpost here. I don't know if we're ever going to get bigger engines. A 12-cylinder is pretty big. But if we are, it's going to be in a pack with a very generic name like Advanced Battle Vehicle Blueprints. I think that's where we have found all of our engine upgrades thus far. Alright, so we're going to want to head north, I assume. Oh yeah, well, yeah, of course. So into unfamiliar territory basically immediately. Hopefully we won't encounter too many very inconvenient rock blockades. Somebody up ahead and apparently underground is taking damage. Okay, the dip outside of our base is pretty sharp, I guess. We don't have to get involved in this. We can try to just cruise on through here. Oh, it looks like these vehicles may have decided that we are not cruising on through. It is looking like we don't even really need to pay attention to this. The team's got it. We're well enough armed and high enough skilled. Alright, so we're reading some caches up on a cliff up there. And this looks like it goes directly to our objective. Although it is going to be a frustrating amount of uphill driving from here to there. Alright, Merritt, do your best. Keep revealing stuff. Yeah, there's the walls right there. Okay. Pretty straightforward path then. I wonder if it's better, instead of slowing down to protect the engine, if it's better to just have a crew member standing up there next to it to repair it when it takes damage. Somehow I missed that cache despite driving right by it, but it's too late now. We've gone too far. Yep, that's true. Inside that is in fact the fortress. Good eye. Let's take the easy version of this. We'll just like drive in a little circle here. That's a lot of fire. Nope, you lost your targets. That's fine. So this is a bowling ball cannon. Oh. Bounced a bowling ball right off of Campbell's head there. Propaganded. Alright, there we go. I think that should clear the security tower. What do they even need so much fuel for, you know? Okay, never mind. Can't aim at the big truck, sadly. This is fine. He's not long for this world anyway. I don't know if we're going to be able to strip off the engine plating from here. It's not critically important, obviously. I guess the driver must have been stunned for an awfully long time. Actually, I guess I should be making sure we take down the propaganda bikes. I was trying to save my bowling ball shots for the larger, slightly more difficult to kill enemies, but all right, the car tilting like that can't be good for. Never mind. I was gonna say can't be very good for our aim, but it turns out not to matter. Oh, I was preparing for a side charge there. Just wasn't necessary. I think that missed. Oh, hey, look who it is. I do believe it's been a minute. Okay. So, let me get you back over here for a second. I don't know if we're going to be able to hit the driver. Honestly, it might not matter. At the rate that all of our allies are doing damage to this thing, hitting the body might be the fastest way to go. Alright, let's soften all these guys up. I think we can actually just let our allies take down the boss, it seems like. Yeah, they got it. Great work just driving into a tower over and over again. I should probably just hold manual control of the driving. It's a little bit nice to be able to set them in like area mode and not have to worry about it, but I mean, as we've seen there, it doesn't actually mean that I don't have to worry about it, so if it were just a little bit more reliable. Yeah, again, that outpost is giving us shit despite the fact that we are doing so much work right next to it. Okay, so bumper, legendary long nose, premium 12-cylinder, a ripsaw railgun, a Vulcan cannon. Okay, yeah, some of this stuff seems like it might be pretty compelling. We will definitely have a look. As we feared, the Orator has managed to gain at least some control over the other factions. His fearful, hopeless message appeals to their base instincts. While he appears to bring them together, in reality he is only stoking further conflict for his own gain. Once we take all the outposts in this region, we'll have a strong enough position to finally be able to take on the Orator. And then we can finally bring some hope and unity to the Badlands. Yeah, it's sadly a remarkably effective strategy. Okay, we're just going to cap out Badlander on you. May as well. You have quite a lot of gear carry weight already. It might be the case that with the toughness we have available, it might make sense, I think, to focus on life force more than beefiness a little bit. You, on the other hand, probably could still use some more upgrades here. Wow. That point takes our gear weight up 10, maximum gear weight up 10 points. How much more do you need? Some 35 is still low. But yeah, we're getting to the point where it probably is better for us in the long run to start pumping life force on some of these guys again. All right, another maxed out deadliness crew member. Very good news. And you're still working on it. But you're all doing great work. All right, let's have a look at some of these new parts. So bumper premium large 2 is like, I think that's like 10 points. No, we're using the one with the longhorns. Yeah, it's the same bumper. In fact, it's just different art. That one's pretty cool. I wonder if you can like tack multiple bumpers next to each other and get the benefit of all of them. So these have a little bit better HP, right? Well, like where are the scrap metal shields? Yeah, 120 HP for 5 weight. That was tall. Versus 200 HP for 9 weight. It's not really terribly significant, is it? All right, let's see here. A lot of these are going to be in the higher area. 150 range, 360 degree field of fire. The damage output's not very good, but the range is certainly impressive. Rotary 6-barrel electrically driven Gatling gun. Sorry, Gatling cannon. Critical difference there. You know, honestly, it's kind of interesting. I really like the weapons we're actually using right now, though, have DPS is closer to 70. Yeah, but I mean, you're going to sacrifice something for the extra range, right? I think that's probably just the case. What about this thing? This thing only has, yeah, this thing in the sniper rifle, the super powerful sniper rifle only does have 46 damage. We also have here high power rapid fire electrically driven heavy blade launcher that's on 65. Yeah, there's some exciting stuff here. I almost want to, we don't quite have enough resources to make 2, but I almost want to replace the pool ball cannons with these. Well, we're, what, 3 Raptor ornaments short of being able to do 2 of these? We can let it sit for, like, one more mission. But I think that probably is what I'll end up doing. 2,000 capacity. So this has got even better capacity than the high capacity bed, and it's got the fast heal rate. Does seem pretty ultimate, I guess. So it's a 6x6x6. But it contains 100 it weighs 180. It contains 90 fuel. You know, honestly, I don't know that we need to mess around with our fuel situation too much. And again, we are, like, weight is a serious concern, right? I guess, actually, so we're on what? Like, we're on large fuel. 80 or 120 pounds, depending on if it's armored. So that's 90. It's a 50% increase for approximately a 50% gain in weight. Yeah, it's not really, like, it's not actually more efficient. It's more space efficient, I suppose. Okay. Some of this stuff is, numerically, there are some upgrades here, but I really do like the flat airport tug thing. I think it's going to be pretty hard to turn away from that. So we're currently using this turbo 12-cylinder, 4,400 weight limit. Yeah, the premium one is just, it's not premium enough. In fact, it seems to be worse in actually every single way. So premium is kind of, that might be a misapplication of that word. That's all I'm saying. All right, what about the trader? Yeah, you know what? I will, in fact, take the same deals. Wait, this one I don't want to do. These ones I don't want to do. All right, do we... So this would allow me to run over here and play defense on this outpost. So this is the stronghold that outpost feels connected to, I guess. And so this is where we would want to do missions to see if we can turn its loyalty around. But we could probably still try one more from here. Racing Gekko through these heavy orator lands. I mean, it'll get us that survey I wanted. Yeah, could we leave from here? Because that way we can arrive, probably shorter path overall, and secondly through territory that we've mostly not seen before. All right, let's do this real quick, and just to get those survey points and stuff. And yeah, I'm definitely looking to update those pool ball cannons. They are for sure the oldest weapons on the truck, and also they have that weird waste problem where sometimes they just fire in completely the wrong direction. So I'm hoping that it's just something about those guns in particular. It could be that they're too low and they're like getting hung up on the armor. But you'd think if the armor were a thing that could cause trouble for them, we'd be told that it's like problematic in some way, that we'd get a little exclamation point in the builder. It's like, hey, some of your weapons are not going to fire properly. That was weird. Sort of drove across something in the sand there, I guess. All right, so we want to head out here and then turn south. Okay, it's a little bit more damage than I'd like to be taking. Aided primarily by the fact that I keep getting stuck on top of their motorcycles. Alright, I wanted to do that without getting into, without like having Merrick run up and go to the drums, and maybe that was too much laziness. If you can imagine such a thing. Laziness, but with consequences. Bizarre. Wait, is that a fuel tank? That is a fuel tank. That is a very exposed fuel tank. Ah, one thump wasn't good enough, though. I guess if they're gonna spawn a cache like right behind us, we may as well. Boy, there's just a never-ending stream of these guys coming in. Slightly underestimated. No, get the... now we're gonna have to go back another pass. They're very finicky about shooting at the caches. And sometimes they just whiff. Oh, can't actually do that. Engine is way too hot. I'm getting some kind of ping here. Okay, there's an observatory or something up there. Well, the good news is we're going to be headed right past it. Should we... Yeah, I should probably rotate people onto the blood bank for some health real quick here. Did I miss? I did. Okay. You know, the other thing we could do, potentially, I don't really know how we're doing on parts for an idea like this, but certainly just focused on efficacy. One thing we totally could do is swap all of our weapons out for more bowling ball cannons. It's hard to argue with the effectiveness, right? Samoas could kind of use health, but I'm not necessarily opposed to just leaving the truck stationary in the desert for a moment. I am going to run our driver out here, and we'll just take a little rest. We'll let the engine cool off for a second. Gosh, you're slow. Okay. I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe when you see our vehicle stopped in the sands, you should just take that as a blessing because it means we're not currently chasing you. God, these are some distances, huh? That's a little unfortunate. Huh. Alright, it told me I had a binoculars node for a second there. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, wait, there's a relic here? Oh. Just drove right into it. I guess this would have been what the binoculars marker was, probably. But then we got so close to it that we no longer needed to do the initial search. This seems oddly familiar. I'm assuming it's a bomber from Bomber Crew, probably. Well, that should make this an interesting blueprint, at least. Okay, so we just need to come up here, stick to the right, try not to get caught by too much of the security force from this outpost, and we'll be on Gekko in no time so that we can actually start the damn race. Oh wait, I need to be on the other side of... yeah, shit. We're gonna have to go through the outer ring of the base. It's just no avoiding it. I'll try to let some heat off here so that we can speed up once we're inside the walls. Looks like we have drawn a little bit of attention. I think they're spawning one more group to come after us. I guess we'll have to see if they actually do. I think we're going to be okay. If this is the whole pursuit group, we'll break them off very quickly. Okay, turns out to be even better than that. Only one of the trucks is actually even going to come after us. So now here I definitely want to slow down a little bit as we're approaching Gekko because I want to have our heat in a good spot when the race starts. Wow, we are not losing heat at all. Do I need to stop the truck entirely? Even that's not really doing it. It's coming down very, very slowly. Well, there's not much else we can do. Driving so slowly that even in fast forward, it's upsetting. This reward, or this race, better be worth it. Sadly, I don't think the mission rewards were actually anything special at all. Alright. Can we get this going? But you are just all the way up here, huh? Actually, this is itself a survey point. At last, the Orator's stronghold. We are within striking distance of ridding the Badlands of his insidious influence and restoring hope for us all. Okay. And there's our man. So it looks like this one does not, in fact, end at a survey point, but it starts at a survey point, and that's similar. He starts the race while I'm still facing the wrong direction. None of our crew members will fire on Gekko, which is a shame. It means the only thing to do here is just to outrun him the old-fashioned way. He seems a little faster now than he has in the past. And we're about to run out of go faster juice. I don't think that the enemies really like go out of their way to mess with him. Yeah, they do not appear to. Boy, they'll happily fuck my shit up though. Let's see about putting some ammo into the backside of that speaker truck. Wow, a lot of missing going on. Yeah, and Gekko's just driving way faster than we are. It doesn't really look like there's any big inefficiencies in his route either. Like, if his car is just 50% faster than mine, there's not really a lot I can do about this. And the truck is on him, but it's not doing anything. It's like a little... No, this doesn't really go anywhere useful. The only way I could see that we could improve on the route at all is if we found a way to drive off the cliff. I can let my nitrous recharge. So I guess it's like the only useful thing available here. I guess we'll grab the relic. I think if we lose the race, it's not a big deal as far as the rewards or anything go, and most of what we were doing here is gathering information. Hold on. The orator must be able to spy on the entire Badlands from this ancient observatory. No wonder he seems to know what makes the other factions tick. Well, he does also have a zeppelin. That probably helps. So if we're gonna lose anyway, it looks like we may as well, you know, make the time to grab the relics and whatnot. Maybe I do want to just, you know what, I'm gonna have Ueno go up next to the engine, and we're just gonna gun it. Well, Gekko seems to have slowed down pretty considerably for some reason. Maybe he just lets you catch up. Alright, keep it running. Yeah, Gekko does seem to have just sort of pulled off to the side for reasons that I'm not clear on, and I'm not going to ask any questions about. Maybe we broke his AI by being so far behind for so long. This isn't one of those mission types where I need to, like, ensure his survival or anything, because the enemies don't shoot at him anyway. So, fuck it. Even not using the nitro, I'm gonna need to repair the engine again. Okay, apparently we're going this way. I think we would have fit through that gap. Exactly where we're trying to land, like oh, repair it. Okay, there we go. It's a really, really sharp turn. Alright, yeah. I guess I must be having an off day. I guess so, man. Just kind of parked sideways, staring at the wasteland. Gekko is experiencing a bout of ennui. Alright, yeah, we're just gonna nitrous uphill all the way and keep someone's hands in the engine the whole time. You would think it would be both difficult and dangerous to repair an engine while it's still happening. Unfortunately, it is still a real long trip back home, too. It's wild how much safer this position seems to be for Ueno than her normal gun spot, because she's really not taking any damage at all here. You would think more or less fully exposed on the front of the truck would be a spot where you would catch a couple of strays, but I guess, I mean, part of what's going on, obviously, is that we're killing the enemies a lot faster than we used to. You're gonna go on the blood bag. You're gonna repair your compressor. And of course, the moment we move Ueno out, all of a sudden, there's engine damage. Oh, get back to it then. Alright, unfortunately, yeah, like we are going to have to drive all the way back to Whispering Alley. It is the only close outpost. That really sucks. All right. Just get busy driving. I would say if there's one thing that the game is missing, one place where the systems feel like really almost unfinished, it's heat. Like, how are you supposed to manage heat? You're not really given any tools aside from slow down. But even like when you're driving up hills and stuff, even that is sometimes not enough. And if you had components that could like heat sink or, I don't know, pour cooling materials on your engine or something, then you could at least have like an interesting trade-off of like what's worth the wait and what can I manage just by driving. As things are, all there is like have a person stand next to the engine and repair it. It's kind of the only thing you can do. They are really running some serious patrols out here. Oh, hold on a second. Am I supposed to be going that way? I am, yeah. Okay, let's turn off the fast mode here. Rotate around, get this engine repair started. At least this is downhill a little bit. It's got something going for it. So we gotta go through the outer area of that stronghold, or that outpost, in order to get back home. Wow, that is gonna land really close to us, actually. Sorry, I trust the gunners. You shoot enough bowling balls at basically any creature, and you can discourage it from pursuing you. Alright, unfortunately, we didn't really have time to slow down. Oh, the fuel drums is under pressure here. So yeah, just right, pretty much right out the other side. That's our goal right there. Just go ahead and commit here. I'm not going to stay and fight, but call in some extra bodies to draw some of the gunfire off. You know what? Also, it's raining. All right, good luck, everybody. Boy, the engine does not like the amount of stuff that is going on right now. Okay, turn left. Or right, rather. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look at the amount of fuel we've spent. It is becoming, I think, more and more like close to mandatory to have a fuel setup like the one we have, and that feels a little ridiculous. But at least we did actually do the upgrades. Also, I don't want to jinx anything, but it does look like we got away with it. In the sense that I don't expect that we're going to be pursued anymore. You know what? I am not even kind of interested in that cash. We are just getting home. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, to be clear, I did not do that with the arrow. Sometimes you get near an obstruction, the driver just kind of completely loses his damn mind. The strategy does not, this does not feel like the way they wanted to implement you getting to go fast. Oh, some relics popped up there in the corner after we left that area. Isn't that nice of them? I'm really disappointed. I thought that was for sure going to be a one-shot. let's have wood. Take a waste shot and then run for the rejuvenator, because actually, damage is, you know, it is stacking up. Ooh. Yeah, that was a direct hit. I saw that. Okay. We can run back up and deal with that. I think Campbell has a free res, or a fast res available. No, maybe not. Maybe I don't have that perk equipped. All right, let's get the hell out of this desert. I have to admit that did take longer than I thought it was going to. Ooh, also, I don't know how much is coming through on the mic, but I am definitely feeling it today. So apologies if my respiratory condition, which is acting up, is making my breathing sound ragged or rough. I'm trying to lean away, but you know. Yeah, it was a lot of driving. It's a 40,000 point race, a 50,000 point race. And still, the sepulcher. All right. I'll have to go back and fix that. Everybody's getting level ups. For sure. And some blueprints. The Reaper Respirator looks pretty cool. The Pitbull. And a rubber chicken. And we'll never even really get to know the stats of the rubber chicken because it's a holster item. That's very annoying. Okay. This is... I mean, that's a look. Shockingly, it does not have a fuel efficiency bonus. So it's very, very effective as armor, but it lacks the specialized boosts that most of us rely on. It might be good for merit, honestly. Yeah, doesn't... We have no idea. It's actually a higher rarity than all of our other weapons, so it might be a really great... it might be a really great melee weapon, but we'll never know. That doesn't feel like the way they want that to work, right? Yeah, you probably just don't need... What you want is more HP to go under all of that resistance. Same deal here, probably. Where are you at as far as gear weight? 35. We could push that a little bit. I do want people to have more room for gear, obviously. Perk slots 5. Let's see if we can't do something about that. So it seems like the rarity of the crew member probably affects their overall crew slots, because we've seen some people cap out at 4. But she's definitely going to be able to get to 6. Yeah, and Ben, who is ultra rare, has 4 and could go up from there, according to the bar. Okay, so Merritt, your helmet is doing what for you? Nothing really special. It doesn't look like we're losing any major stats. It's actually, the one that Merritt has on now is actually quite effective armor. I almost wonder if this is worth doing, because we're not facing a lot of toxic damage anymore. It's like a little bit of a gain against blast and fire for a reduction against the other types. I think we're gonna keep old Smiler here. It's really a remarkably effective helm for the thing it does. Yeah, lose a bunch of piercing and slash. Because piercing is what the bullet weapons generally do. And we are seeing a lot of that. Griffin's mask is maybe not crazy. It's certainly a lot of defense. Yeah, it seems weaker against bullets. Ooh, okay. Crank's horned helmet, which is extremely heavy, does seem like it probably gives us the best defense against the kinds of damage we're actually facing. And then we can just make sure that on merit we're taking a couple more points of beefiness to offset the massive walk speed loss. Yeah, I'm cool with that, I think. And then at some point I might want to do like a once-over on the crew. I know those Aussie hats are hard to give up, but it might make sense to at some point. Okay, a helicopter cab, 1,300 HP, and it looks like it's covered from 3 sides. Well, I mean, like really covered from 2 sides. Then it's got obviously the windshield shooting spot here. Okay, the Doomster's sawed off. Fearsome 6-barrel sawn off heavy shotgun. That is pretty fearsome. And the Pitbull. 125 range, 360 degree field of fire with 64 piercing damage. Uses some of that uranium. Actually, these are pretty cheap. We could afford to make a bunch of these. So, like, comparing to this, it's got that 150 range, but the DPS is actually quite poor. You know, honestly, so this would require us to install a generator somewhere. We can probably find room for a generator, although we're looking at weight limits then again. Well, I could probably cut I could cut a loot crate or something. These are 200 pounds each. What are the weapons I would be replacing them with? 75 each. Okay, so we'd be gaining 250 total weight just from the weapon replacement directly. I don't know. They're very compelling as weapons, but it does seem a bit ambitious to fit them onto this frame with everything else that's going on. Especially if we don't have any engine upgrade, and it's possible that there aren't better engines. We might be running the top tier of engines. Although I guess if that were true, I would probably expect them to be a color higher than green. The fact that the 12 cylinders are only green honestly suggests that there might be like several qualities above. Yeah. But it feels like we're so close to the end of the game. Like, if we look at this, missions from this stronghold now. Okay, we have to finish conquering all the outposts. We get Advanced Vehicle Blueprints Volume 3. Survival gear. A lot of uranium and tungsten. Alright, I might try to play with it and see if there's any reasonable way to get the miniguns onto the truck, because they do seem like they'd be a pretty significant boost in power, especially if they can actually aim. But it's extremely weight prohibitive. Like, those things are... The operational weight of them, including the generators, is probably more than we can overcome at the moment. I don't know. Like I said, I'll see. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, I think we're going to be pushing east still. We're going to be continuing to try to hammer on the things that are needed to approach this final outpost, or this final stronghold. No reason to slow down now. And hopefully we'll be finding something cool to do with these advanced weapons on the way. And we'll see you then.